She is not human. This face is not real. This is a computer game character pretending to be a real person. So what do they all have in common? Virtual influencers are computer-generated fictional characters with realistic characteristics, features and personalities of humans used to advertise brands. They are becoming more and more popular amongst marketers due to their high customizability, attractiveness, and total control over their actions. Their impact is based on their followers who are drawn to these online personas through their appearance and portrayed personality. These traits are carefully tailored to meet the public's need for authenticity, which had been a desired trait of influencers this past decade. Despite the fact that virtual influencers' authenticity is rather artificial, their engagement rate is still better than that of humans. Now that we know who virtual influencers are, let us answer the question of how do the virtual influencers create the illusion of authenticity. Authenticity itself is a concept that indicates living your life according to your own values and goals, rather than those of other people. It's being true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. The concept is rather ambiguous when it comes to social media, especially in the world of influencers. Choosing the right brands to promote on Instagram is one thing, but how does one prove their humanity in the virtual space? Altering photographs before publishing them is nowadays something associated with creating an online presence and common practice around most social media platforms. Changing the lighting, removing imperfections, exposing the best features. Our online profiles show perfected versions of ourselves. Even if we use #NoFilter, we only post the best photo of the 50 we took that moment. This is a posthumanist approach that recognizes the opportunities that technology enables. We realize that we can be better, and we use the available technologies to create improved versions of ourselves. This is what posthumanist scholars describe as transhumanism, using technology to overcome fundamental human limitations. We can see examples of this philosophy in science fiction. And the beginnings of it in real life. But what if I told you some Instagram profiles consist of photos completely made with various computer softwares, and that their audiences often do not acknowledge that? The girls from the beginning of the video are all different kinds of virtual social media influencers with unique styles and stories. September now, artist, model, brand ambassador. Xenia Rain is an alter ego created in 2012 by Stachura Rain, who is a professional illustrator and character designer. Based on her real-life experience, she created a reality by the means of technology, mainly Photoshop. The whole profile is an Instagram blog with additional brand campaigns, online products, and design collaborations. Xenia's profile is run with a certain aesthetic of artistic creativity, minimalistic frames, and visually pleasant color palettes. Her message is artist's freedom, which she manifests in various forms of photography and art pieces. Out of the three profiles, this one is the furthest from being virtually generated. September No's posts are created by editing real photographs in Photoshop to alternate each of them so that they portray Xenia's imaginary character. This makes it easy for people to believe that the person they see on the photographs is real. That's not the case, however, as not a single one of her where 846 posts are showing an existing human being. All of them have been changed, painted over, and perfected by the girl behind the profile. She uses her professional skills to create the perfect girl with a perfect life, an ideal candidate for brands to collaborate with. In a similar way, drawing over real photographs, Riot Games created an Instagram figure with big dreams. Seraphine appeared on the platform in 2020 and was announced to be a new character in the company's most popular game, League of Legends. However, her profile did not mention that at all. Seraphine acted like a real person, interacted with her followers online, and had one clear goal in life: to become a pop star. Her post led the audience on a journey from her being a bedroom-based musician to her performing with the popular virtual K-pop inspired band KDA. With a similar amount of followers, gained in only a fraction of the time it took September, the two profiles differ in a significant way. Seraphine is evidently not a real person. Her look is digital, like a digitally painted character, aligned with the aesthetic of League of Legends. And yet, people still interact with her as if she was a human being. A combination of the two styles, realistic but still showing signs of not being real, is Lil Michaela, self-proclaimed chain-sticking robot with the drip. It is unclear whether she really is a robot, a CGI character, or a real person with a face filter. Either way, she is a virtual influencer who won the attention of over 3 million people on Instagram. Joined the platform in 2016, created by a transmedia studio Brad, Michaela is a teenage Instagram model from Downey, California, and streetwear and luxury brand endorser. Her narrative includes celebrification, social activism, and experiencing life as a robot who learns about being human. The three profiles, while portraying fictional characters through certain techniques, they impose the idea of authenticity on their audiences. These techniques can be observed after analyzing the content in the form of photos, videos, and post captions. The approaches can be divided into 5 different themes. 1. Shows their human traits. These can be things like relationships, self-reflection, working hard to achieve success, expressing emotions, connecting with audience and causing sympathy, being nostalgic, talking about preferences and own values. 2. Adds a story to the character. This method involves sharing childhood stories, facts from life, relatable situations, talking about real-life decisions and career development, and letting the audience in on some emotional moments. 3. Creates the impression of reality. To immerse the audience into the illusion, the virtual influencers release something that can be treated as a tangible evidence of their being. These can be things such as paintings, clothing brands, accessories, music, and videos, or simply putting themselves in recognizable locations to make others question, was she really there? Is this just Photoshop? Does she really exist? Not having official answers to these questions can serve as a way to keep the audience interested, as they want to find out more. 4. Flaws and genuinity. Nobody's perfect, so in order to be more real, virtual influencers have to have flaws. Bad hair day, no makeup, and straight off the bat photos can certainly help to indicate that these characters are just like other people with real need for grooming. Additionally, there are also more serious topics to touch on, like struggling with career choices, not knowing what to do, being vulnerable, and showing they too can have a hard time. 5. Imagination and individuality. Diversity is a big part of humanity. No two people are the same. Therefore, virtual influencers need to express themselves with their unique voice. September Now's profile is all about the freedom in art, so her activism and creativity shine through various posts. Seraphine is a self-taught singer whose music is showcased repeatedly on her profile. Her message is to chase your dreams, and her story shows that it pays off. Lil Miquela is known for activism on her platform and various music videos in which she references her emotions and experiences. Now we know what authenticity is and how virtual influencers create the impression of being authentic on social media. So let me tell you, what role does authenticity play on Instagram? Looking into the comments section under the posts of virtual influencers, a variety of engagement approaches can be observed. Some people engage with the characters as if they were real people, and others treat them with the acknowledgement of them being artificial or as a form of art. After quantifying the data of the two profiles with mostly English-speaking language audience, Lil Miquela and Seraphine, a few things can be observed. 1. The approaches vary from profile to profile. 2. Lil Miquela tends to be treated more as a robot than a human despite her realistic features. 3. Seraphine, more interestingly, tends to be treated more often as a human being, despite the apparent digital look. And 4. Because Seraphine does not have to be authentically human to be treated as one, and because there is no consistency in the audience's attitudes, authenticity might not make as much difference after all. The reason behind such an outcome might be connected to the fact that virtual influencers are fabricated to imitate their human counterparts, who in many cases are considered inauthentic. They too edit the content they show and put on social media, staged and retouched photos, and only put out what the audience wants and post for the purpose of revenue, not authenticity. The people behind all the profiles in this video are the ones who at some point decided that it would be a good idea to introduce the concept of artificial people to the world of social media. People with such an approach can be described as the digitarian culture. These are the people who believe in the digital progression of humanity and the transhumanist overcoming of human limitations by the means of technology. They are used to everything technological and claim that the digital is better: appearances, voices, communications, and experiences. So let me tell you, how do the digitarians shift the public's perspective of the digital world? Virtual influencers like micro-celebrities have value in the form of entertainment, similar to reality TV, and are an inspiration of lifestyles they are promoting. This is their value from the audience's perspective. Moreover, they are proven to be effective from a business side of things. Marketing tends to be more effective when companies can have total control over their promoter. Because they are not real people and only show what their bound by contracts creators want, they pose minimum risk for the businesses that choose to work with them. Along with the sentiment analysis of the profiles that shows a neutral to positive sentiment of the aforementioned account, I have come to the conclusion that the digitarian culture became successful in producing a reasonable idea of the virtual influencers in the public's minds, therefore shifting the perspective of the digital world to the positive side. Now, in 2021, after all life has been digitized, the rise of virtual influencers makes sense. It is interesting, however, if this trend is going to stay, or are the means and effort of creating such content greater than the payoff? After all, there are people who need to be paid for generating the images, which takes a lot more time than just taking a photo of a real person. Maybe it is because of the contribution that these profiles are received positively without the necessity of being 100% authentic. It is possible that this human factor is held accountable for boosting the virtual influencer's image as real people. I wonder if that would be the case if a profile was completely AI generated. That is all I have for this video. I hope I have interested you in the topic of virtual influencers and authenticity. Now you do have the knowledge to browse social media with a detective's lens and spot out digitally made people. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!